A while back, I made a video sharing my net worth at 40 being an ex-engineer, and many commented that it is impossible to be a millionaire just by being an engineer. In this video, I'm going to share how I reached this milestone. The purpose of this video is not to brag. In fact, there's nothing to brag. There are people who have done way better than me financially at a way younger age. But life is not a competition with others. The purpose of this video instead is to inspire that by doing similarly simple things, you could actually do well financially without taking huge risks or diving into trendy investments. Now, let's first address the elephant in the room. I did not become a millionaire through property. I didn't invest in homes. I did not flip homes. I do know of many of my friends who have gone from a HDB to a condo to the next condo and have made a lot by flipping their property. But nope, I did not. I have only owned a 4-room HDB, which I am still staying in. I did not make money through crypto, and in fact, I don't have crypto. While I know many who have made loads of money, particularly during the COVID period from crypto, that wasn't me. I didn't make money from aggressive stock trading. In fact, my investment is so boring. And furthermore, my stock investment is just based on Singapore stocks. No, I did not make money from business. While I do have side hustles that make me money, they are not life-changing money. I don't have multi-million business. To become rich, you need to do 4 things: save it, invest it, and protect yourself so that you won't be hit with high financial liabilities. But in this video, I'm not going through these. There are many articles out there that talk about these in details. Instead, I'm talking about the other factors that make me do these 4 things better. The first factor and the most important one is basically the people I surround myself with. And it is the mindset that these people gave to me that changed my life. Let me mention 3 people who left the most lasting impression on me. The first one is my husband. So back then when he was my boyfriend and we had just started working, he mentioned setting annual goals together. And one of the goals that he mentioned or he came up with was to set up a CDP account and learn how to invest. When we started working, the amount that we had wasn't a lot, but he mentioned that as we continue working, this amount will grow, and investing in stocks will allow us to make money while we sleep or even pay for our living expenses in time to come. This was something game-changing for me. My parents were also not into investing in stocks, and the impression I get from investing in stocks before that was it is risky, it is like gambling because of what my parents instilled into me. But this guy here, he talked about something different, and he also introduced me to many investing books to get me started on my journey. And today, while I am not working, what he says really makes sense. The investments from stocks or the dividends that I receive from my stocks and the interest that I receive from the bonds that I hold are actually funding my life. This is also the guy who gave me the opportunity to get cheap insurance. Because he is a Singaporean who has served national service, by marrying him, I also get to buy insurance at a discounted rate. Another person I want to talk about is a colleague in my first job. I remember talking to her about our pay not going up. And it's very hard to become rich with this salary. And this was when she told me that she saved all her salary and used a side income to cover her expenses. Her side hustle was giving tuition. So I started getting tuition assignments. An engineering degree is good for giving tuition. You can teach math and science, which is what many get tuition on. And with an engineering degree, your math and physics and maybe even chemistries are probably beyond the A-level standards. So you can give A-level tuition easily compared to others, and it is this level that pays the most. So I spent a lot of my after work time giving tuition, and it really boosted the amount that I saved. I also want to talk about this person here. He was a colleague in my second job, and today he's still one of my best friends. So this guy here is a network king. And for an introverted person like me, just by going out for lunch with him allows me to meet and learn the other side of others. If I were to go out with lunch with others, probably I won't learn much about them because I wouldn't ask so much, or they wouldn't tell me so much about themselves. And because everyone seems to be very comfortable with him, we actually talk a lot about what we are doing apart from work. And that was an eye-opener for me. So through him, I actually knew that there were some colleagues who had an Airbnb business overseas, someone who's running franchises in Singapore with his group of friends, then some people with online businesses, and so on. And it left me an impression that most have a work after work. And what's more amazing is that these guys who have work after work are also the ones who do really well at work. There was this lunch that I had together with this colleague and his friends, together with a HR personnel. There was this colleague who asked the HR, what is the company policy on moonlighting? And this HR person actually replied very professionally, and I think she gave me the best answer that I ever heard. So she mentioned that as long as there's no conflict of interest, your work is not being affected, you're working the hours that you are required, being in office at the time that you are required to, you're allowed to run any business or be involved in any side hustles that you want. So she gave an example of driving Grab. You can do it before work, after work, and there is no conflict of interest. And she even referred us to a company policy on this. If you look at many C-suites or those high-ranking directors in the company, they sit on the boards of many other companies or even in the government bodies. By doing so, it gives them greater exposure, network, and also allows them to influence certain standards, particularly if they sit in the government bodies. And this ultimately benefits the company. I believe these company policies were written to protect them, to prevent from any backlash while they sit on the other boards. And because it is part of the company policy, it applies to everyone, even small fries like me. This made me realize that having a side hustle or doing things apart from your work is a norm, and people who are doing very well at work are also doing so. And having side hustles not only has the potential to increase my earnings, but also bring me skills that my current job doesn't bring me. When I was in my second job, my working hours were less consistent, so there are times that I work till late, or there are times where I need to be on overseas trips. I need to go overseas for some business trips. So I couldn't give tuition anymore because being a tutor, you need to be at the student's place at a certain day at a certain time. So this realization, meeting these people and knowing what they do after work actually made me look around for what can I do after work. And it seems to me that most people are basically doing that. So this was when I started doing things online like setting up blogs and so on. While my side businesses do not generate a lot of money, and in fact it's just generating pocket money as and when, it is basically trying out these things that matter and being exposed to what is possible apart from your work. The next factor that I want to talk about is chasing income from work. So when I first graduated from university, my starting salary was about $3,200. So after 3 years, I was only earning around $3,500 because I only had around a 3 to 5% increment each year. Meanwhile, my husband, then boyfriend, who started at $2,800 but was in a graduate program of his company, had his salary boosted to over $5,000 in the same time frame. That was a wake-up call for me. I realized I need to move on or stay stuck in that salary range. I remember asking my manager what is her approximate pay, and she mentioned that it was around 5,000 plus. And when I heard it, I realized that after so many years, she became a manager, and her pay is just over $5,000, which was like about the same as my husband after 3 years of work. So this was a realization that this is not a company that I want to work for in the long run. So I started job hunting. So I remember going for this engineering company, and I remember I requested for a salary of $3,800, and this manager told me that that amount is above his own salary and they would not be able to pay me my requested salary. So this is when I realized that different companies pay differently for similar work, and I wanted to look for a golden turtle, or in Chinese we call it 金龟. Okay, and I want to look for a company that is able to pay me very well with a lot of upsides. Okay, I decided I want to work for a rich big company that can pay me. So I stuck to my asking salary and even took on more tuition jobs to supplement my income. After over a year of searching, I finally landed a job that I'm satisfied with and pay me $5,000 a month. This company not only pays well, but basically by being in this company also increases my market value, because this is a company that will increase my exit value. And as it is a very reputable company, and years later, I was able to move on to another role in another company, earning a low 5-digit salary per month. That jump in income made a huge difference to how much I could save and invest. Another factor that helped me in my financial journey was being indifferent to things around me. And that really helped me save a lot of money. When my salary increased while I was working, I was able to channel more of these into my investments in stocks and dividends, which helped a lot. So let me talk more about being indifferent. As I move companies and the colleagues generally get richer because of the higher pay, I don't get sucked into lifestyle inflation. So I still spend like how I was with a $3,000 plus salary. I still wear clothes that I buy from Taobao, for example. I buy a lot of things online which are a fraction of what you get from many stores. I don't go for brands and so on. Even when I have kids, I am more indifferent to what people are giving their kids, particularly in terms of enrichment, because the highest cost most parents spend on is kids' education and enrichment classes. I did go for some trial classes, and through these trial classes, I realized what the teachers are teaching, the parent could do it, because for very small kids in particular, the things that are being taught to them are so easy that your parent could do it. Of course, my kids do go for some enrichment classes, and let me share with you some places that you could learn from at a discounted price. Like for example, from the community centers, the Active SG, if you are learning a sport. I also believe in self-learning, and online courses are a great way to do so. I buy many courses for my kids to learn. And in fact, there are many courses out there that are tailored for kids to learn for a very small price. And what's more, they are good. There are some things that you can learn online, and it is really affordable. If you can self-learn online, you can go way faster and learn way more than going for classes. So these are the factors that help me earn, save, invest, and protect, and help me in my journey to become a millionaire before 40. I hope my story shows you that you do not need to take huge risks or follow the latest trend to build wealth. Just follow the 4 principles to build wealth: earn, save, invest, and protect. And make use of these 4 steps and carve something that you are comfortable with.